Good morning, everyone. So, in the last class, we have started with the chapter number 5, that is architecture in medieval India. In this chapter, in the previous video, we have learned regarding what is the temple architecture, means what kind of architecture we see in the temples. And therefore, we have read about that there are three styles, Nagada, Dravid, and Visara style, which we have done and completed in the last video. Okay. So today we are starting with the Indo-Islamic structure. Okay. So this is what we have read in the previous class. That is the temple architecture styles. All the three styles are here. Now we are starting with the Indo-Islamic architecture. Okay. So what do you mean by, first of all, what do you mean by Indo-Islamic architecture? Say Indo-Islamic architecture means that when the people, which we have read in the previous chapters, that when the people from the Delhi Sultanate and from the Mughal Empire came to India, invaded India, and they lived in India for a very long period of time. And because they lived in India for a very long period of time, during their reign, they have actually built many monuments and buildings. And the architecture which we see in these buildings made by them is very distinct and very different. So that kind of architecture, which is a mix of Indian and their culture, is called as Indo-Islamic architecture. So what do we see here is that so what do you see here is that the kind of building material they used to use in building this monument, that is the red sandstone, yellow sandstone, and the marble. So that is the preferred building material for them. The people from slave and Khalji architects, they used to prefer red sandstone, while the Mughal, they used to prefer marble in making their building. The example is Taj Mahal, which was made by Shah Jahan, okay, during the Mughal Empire. Now, when we talk about mortar, what is a mortar? Mortar is actually, a kind of a building material which is actually help in fixing and, two particular stones. In these days, we use cement, but at that time, because the cement was not invented, that is why the kind of a material or a mixture which they used to use in placing two stones together was known as lime. So they used to use lime as a mortar. In these photos, you can see different kind of architecture. For example, this kind of a gateway is called as a true arch. Okay, it is somewhere you will find it is a little pointed, somewhere it is very simple. And then you will find the middle stone, or you can say these two big stones which are put together in order to play to keep the roof upon, that is called as keystones. Okay, some more features you can see over here, that is the dome shape. This kind of a shape you can see in Indo-Islamic buildings only. And so this is a dome shape, and in interior also you will find a dome shape, and in the exterior also you will find it. So this is called as a double dome system. Dome system is one which from the exterior and from the interior they look like a dome. Okay, so that is called as a double dome system, which you can see in Indo-Islamic buildings. Another feature is minarets. So these kind of a leaning towers, which are very wide from the means beginning, and they become very leaner and leaner as we go upwards. So these are called as minaret. So minaret is again a common feature. You can see in Taj Mahal also there are minarets are there. Okay, so here you can see Akbar's tomb in Sikandra and Jama Masjid in Delhi. Here both they are having minarets. Then in these buildings you can see different kind of patterns on the walls. So these kind of a flower patterns is called as a fall flower pattern, and somewhere you will find these kind of a geometric patterns. So these photos will clear you that what is a geometric and what is a floral pattern. Here you will also find calligraphy, means on the walls you will find that many verses from the Quran has been taken and depicted on the walls in a very artistic manner. So this is called as a calligraphy. Okay, and wherever you will find a combination of calligraphy and designs, floral designs and geometric designs, that is called as arabesque. You can see over here, that is the exterior of the Taj Mahal. Here you will find pietra dura, means a kind of inlay decoration which is done by the semi-precious stones. Here you can find, the verses from Quran also. Somewhere you will find some other pattern. So this is a mixture, the mixture of everything, that is called as arabesque, which is given over here. So these are the features of the Indo-Islamic buildings. Here you will find Petra Dura, as I was explaining you, that it is a flower pattern only, but the only difference between a flower pattern and Petra Dura is that in Petra Dura kind of a style, they use colored stones. They use colored stones in the flowers. So it will look like as if they are painted, but they are actually not painted. They have been actually used by it is the inlay decoration of the semi stones which has been inlaid over here, okay, in the flowers. Then you can find that the gardens are laid in a very interesting way. They have been divided into four parts. In the middle, somewhere you will find a fountain, and these gardens have been divided into four parts. This is called as Charbagh. Okay, so this is an example of Jahangir's tomb in Lahore. Another feature is, these kind of baulis or bawdi, they are also called as, especially in Rajasthan, you will find Rajasthan or places near to Rajasthan where there is always a scarcity of water at from a very early period of time, and people needed water. So many rulers, they made these kind of baulis. So these are step wells. There are so many series of steps which takes you towards the underground water, and there you can reach the underground water. You can fetch the water. So people used to come over here, they used to fetch the water, and they used to take away. Okay, so these kind of baulis is again one of the feature you will find everywhere in Rajasthan. You will find some kind of bauli over there. Okay, now you can see these kind of havelis. The havelis are actually mansions which are actually made for the purpose of nobles and very wealthy traders to live. Okay, their inspiration is from the Persian and Central Asian culture. And here on the walls of these havelis, you will find these kind of paintings, which is called as frescoes. Frescoes are made, when the plaster is very wet. Then they will use variety of colors in order to make some kind of a paintings. So this is called as a fresco, which has been given on a haveli. Okay. Lastly, in connect to the history, you will find out that before the Britishers came to India, Taj Mahal was having very dense kind of a gardens, okay, dense forest, and there was variety of trees over there and less of lawns over there. And actually, that is why the view of Taj Mahal was not clear to the person who is watching the Taj Mahal from a distance. But now you will see that it is very different. Now, after the Britishers came to India, they actually preferred more and more of expensive lawns and very less of trees. So they are shaded the trees, and they actually helped in creating a better view of the Taj Mahal. So even if you are watching it from a very great distance, you can clearly view the Taj Mahal because these forests has been cut off, these trees have been cut off. So this is connect to history. So by this we have finished the chapter. Okay, and the whatever which has been given after this, that is the zenith of architecture in the Shah Jahan's time. So that is a different thing. That only explains that what buildings have been made during the period of Shah Jahan when he was ruling in India. Okay, so by this we have finished the chapter. Thank you so much.